learning how to work together to tackle environmental problems that affect people across Omaha.
Our Bella Caracta is on your side with more on the effort from nonprofits.
This is the second annual From the Ground Up series held by nonprofit One Omaha. They ask people what they want to learn about. Last year it was housing development. This year it's environmental justice. Inside Benson Theater, the applause isn't for people's work on stage, rather what they do when the curtain closes.
Success stories and strategies.
To work towards environmental justice, defined by the Environmental Protection Agency as
fair and meaningful involvement of all people in decision making.
As it relates to having a healthy environment to live, learn, and work. The activists shared what they do to protect people in Omaha from negative environmental impacts and how others can get involved. Cheryl Weston is a North Omaha community advocate.
It's when we come together, we have power. There is funding out there in order to assist those problems. Talk about their energy assistance programs.
She was joined by an engineer working to reduce harmful lead across Omaha, an advocate bringing awareness to food access in the metro, and someone trying to get the city of Omaha to address frequent flooding at Coal Creek. All four people are tackling different issues related to the environment. Through their work, says Alex O'Hanlon with One Omaha, the organization that put this on, they hope to involve others.
Is it going to be working with elected officials? Is it going to be working with your neighbors? Is it going to be a combination of both?
And if you're interested in watching tonight's presentation and the two others before it on environmental justice, you can find that on our website, WOWT.com.